All right, so we did our civil rights planning lesson last week, and then we had our 3 people that we had to address their learning styles. But I think with what we did, kind of matched it all. We did kind of the one teach and one observe, as watching the videos, one teach, one assist, and teaching the lesson, and then a team with the small groups. We just kind of went around on that. Let's say we decided to use the co-teaching, all those, just to help with all the groups, and they could work with each other and not just individually with us. And I think it went pretty well.
Yeah, it did.
You know, so
I was impressed about how when they were working in groups, how supportive they were, especially for Taylor.
Yeah.
They were very supportive over him.
Yes, and I think the way we split them up worked out well. Okay, so for Taylor, how did the team differentiate the instructions for him? I think we tailored the whole thing to fit everybody's needs and not just Taylor's. So putting him in the small group, putting him with stronger readers and stronger comprehension helped. Don't you agree?
I do.
Okay. And then, let's see. And then he responded well.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes
he got silent at one time because I don't think he understood what the question was.
Right.
But once he heard someone else answer the question, and then the next questions that came, he was a lot more involved.
Yes, and started talking with his classmates on that. Let's see. And then how did we differentiate for Bailey? Bailey doesn't need a whole lot of differentiating except her reading comprehension.
Yeah.
So again, we put her with higher level kids, and kind of the same thing. She was kind of quiet and then kind of caught on.
I think they kept her a little bit more accountable too, because they were engaged and she didn't have that moment of being like, ooh, wonder what the butterflies are doing, you know.
Yeah.
She was just like, oh, they're engaged, I'm going to be engaged. So
right. And
I
then
think we picked the right group for her too on that one.
Right. And then having her kind of help lead with the cards and placing them out helped a lot with
Give
her.
her something to do.
Yeah, so she did fine with that. No issues there. Let's see. And then for our third one,
Alex,
let's see. We knew it wasn't going to work great with him being in groups.
yes, because he needs to have his own way,
But we tried.
Yep.
We tried, and he ended up arguing like we thought.
Yep.
So we kind of put him in his own group, but that made him happy.
Yes.
And he did it on his own.
And he did great.
Right. Academically,
He
he's
knew what he
fine.
was doing. He just did not want to have to I think he just didn't want to have to take time to wait on everyone else to figure it out. So he just needed to get it done.
Right. So, I mean, he did fine. We knew what we were going into with this group work. You know, he asked a lot of questions after the video and things like that, but group work's just not his thing.
Yeah.
We try here and
And he
there.
was thoroughly invested in the video.
Yes.
So.
Yes, he loved that. Let's see. So, what do you think went well with the lesson that we did?
I definitely think the way we grouped the students, and we did not put for Taylor, we did not put the super highest or the gateway kids or something like that with him, because that would have caused more frustration. We put high readers, but they weren't too high, and we looked at those, the ones that were more compassionate with him, that understood him.
Good kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for, Bailey, the grouping that we put with her, that was a good one, because they were the ones that were like, we know what we're doing, we're on it, we're doing it, and she needed that.
Yeah.
So, but Alex, we knew that wasn't going to work, but we tried. But I think the grouping was one of the stronger areas we had.
Yeah, and I still want to keep trying with Alex, just for the fact that he's got to learn to work with people at some point. Yeah. But we also know it. If it doesn't work, we got a plan B for him. So, what are some things that you think that we could have improved on?
Well, I think for the pre-planning of things like this, if it's like the book is big, and it's got a lot of language in it and stuff like that, but we were looking at the civil rights. Right. So maybe for those 3 or any 3 that we need, or any ones that we need, maybe we can let them see the video ahead of time. Like, a day ahead of time or that
Right.
morning. So they have some information, but then they watch the video again, it will help with that, maybe, or even
Build
watch a
some
second video.
confidence or something, yeah.
And they would be able to like, oh, I know what this is, and feel a little bit more confident when they're doing it. Because sometimes, watching something over and over again helps you remember.
It's true, because, I mean, everybody had an idea of who Martin Luther King was.
Mm-hmm.
Very little on Rosa Parks, but they've heard of civil rights, but they didn't exactly understand what it was at the beginning.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, hopefully with us going over this, they've learned something from it. And then, let's see. What was our biggest challenge or barrier posed to the co-planning and teaching in the classroom or school? And then what are some suggestions that we can help do it?
Well, one of our challenges was definitely Alex, because we knew, he showed us all year long, and his history of not wanting to get along with others. So that was definitely one of our challenges. Making sure making sure Taylor didn't break down and just shut down on us. So
right, and that was definitely placing with the right people. And I think some of it is the end of the school year, they're done.
Yeah.
Yes. They're done. So trying to keep them engaged in thirst for knowledge on this is challenging for all of us.
Exactly.
Right? So is there anything else that you would add to this? That I can improve or anything?
Maybe just, being able to front load more information to those ones that we know are struggling already, especially with comprehension. Maybe we could tie in some vocabulary, like have the word with a picture, do a quick talk, like just super quick talk on what does that word mean, just ahead of time. But overall, it was a really good lesson, and the kids were engaged, and they asked a lot of really good questions, and I feel like these three benefited from it. So.
And I like doing the small groups, within the classroom. I just think it helps, and with these guys, we don't have to sit in one group and go over. We can kind of bounce around and make sure they all get
more facilitators than we are just directing. I did like the card game where they had to match, and I like that it was not too many cards, but also not too little of cards. It was a good amount that they really had to search out and guess, but they didn't get super bored very fast.
Right. And this is a competitive group, so.
Yes.
So, all right. Well, thank you.